Okay, so average rate of change is the same thing as the slope between 2 points. So remembering your slope formula is always the change in y over the change in x. So here they give us 3 different functions: the g of x function with a table, h of x function with an equation, m of x function with a graph. Which of the 3 functions has the largest and smallest average rate of change? And these are the 2 inputs, -2 and 4. So let's first look at g of x. We're going to have to do 3 separate problems here to compare their average rate of change. I'm only going to focus when the input is -2, so I have this entry here and the 4. To get the change in y, I'm going to take -8 minus 0 over the change in x. I'm going to take the 4 minus -2. Be careful, when the second number is negative, you're going to have that double subtraction sign. And that's going to give me -8 over 6, or negative 1.3 repeating. I'm going to use as a way to compare. It's easier to compare when you have it as a decimal. Okay, so you could just do the -8 divided by 6 in the calculator. Please note you could have done the reverse, and on the top you could have done 0 minus -8, and then -2 minus 4 on the bottom. Whichever point you start with on the top, you have to start with on the bottom. So I use the bottom one first for each, meaning the -8 first on top, so I use the 4 first on bottom. Okay, the second function I'm going to use the calculator for, because it gave you the equation just like the last problem. Inside the absolute value bars, which is in this screen, right over or under the e, or to the left of the 4, 2x plus 3, then go outside the absolute value bars before hitting +7 equals. Now I could go to the table, or I could say, all right, let's do, and I could just set it up as division right away. Let's get the output of the function. We're going to use x, because that's what the calculator named the function, of 4, need parentheses, sorry, 4 minus letter f of -2. So that's the outputs at 4 and -2. So what am I going to divide that by? What do I have to put on the bottom? The inputs of 4 minus 2. So that gives us the change in the outputs divided by the change in the inputs. Or you could have gotten the table of values and done it the same way I did for the first one if you understood that better. Okay, then the third one, again, is going to be like the table, except you have to find the points. Okay, when x is -2 right here, I see that this is the point, and that gives us an output of -12. So it's the point -2, -12 that we're going to use. And when the input is 4, it's that point right there, 4, 0. Okay, so maybe I'll go the other way this time, just to change it up, to do the change in y over change in x. Maybe start with the top point and do -12 minus 0 on top. So on the bottom, I'd also have to start with the top point here, -2 minus 4. Having the second number positive makes it easier that you don't have to deal with the double negative, though it would make it addition rather than subtraction. So -12 minus 0 on top, or you could just plug this whole thing in the calculator, just hit the division symbol first. -2 minus 4, -6, which is 2. So we're comparing the slopes. I'm going to get rid of that calculator. We're comparing the slopes of negative 1.3 repeating, 5, and 2. So the smallest one would be this one, which is the g of x. The largest one would be this one, which is the h of x. So g of x was the smallest, h of x is the largest, which is choice 2. Next problem is going to be the last one I do with you. And then there's 2 problems left over. You're doing 4 and 5. Yesterday when I said to finish, a lot of you just did the one after it when there were 2 problems after it. And do not leave anything blank. I give credit for work, not correct answers. Okay, here's a table. Over which interval of time is her average rate of change for the balance the greatest? So here it's giving us 4 different intervals to get the average rate of change of. So here for choice 1, I'm going from month 10 to month 60. So for choice 1, I'm going to do this point for the input at 10, this point for 60. So for choice 1, on top, I'm going to do the 2591.9 minus 1172 over 60 minus 10. So now I do need the calculator again for that, sorry. I could just put that whole thing in the calculator at once as long as I put the division symbol first. I remember Devin helping me with that earlier in the year. Didn't I hit division first? Oh, there we go. 2591.9 minus 1172. On the bottom, 60 minus 10. And we get the 28.398 for the average rate of change. So that's just the answer. I didn't do just the top or the bottom separate. For choice 2, they want the average rate of change between month 19 and month 69. So for that one, I'm going to do 2990 minus 1352 divided by 69 minus 19. So I must see this work in the 2 examples that follow. 2990 minus 1352 over 69 minus 19. So the average rate of change for that, I'm going to use the wavy equal sign to get the decimal, 32.76. So of the first 2 choices, so far 2 is the greatest. I'm not going to continue. I'm hoping you understand. If not, text me. I am going live with a couple of classes tomorrow, so if I'm unable to respond right away, please be patient. Otherwise, text me. The next 2 examples I made up on my own, looking up data from our current situation. So I was thinking that this might be a little interesting, and it's fully data that I got from Google. Okay, thank you.